Aloha. My 21st century leadership presentation will focus on Cory Booker, the approachable leader. Today's agenda will focus on his background, leadership traits, styles and strengths, how he managed conflict, his accomplishments, and a closing statement. Cory Anthony Booker is an American politician, attorney, and author who served as the United States Senator from New Jersey since 2013. He's a member of the Democratic Party. Booker is the first African American U.S. Senator from New Jersey. He previously served as the 36th mayor of Newark from 2006 to 2013. Before that, Booker served on the Municipal Council of Newark for the Central Ward from 1998 to 2002. Booker was born in Washington, D.C., but raised in Harrington Park, New Jersey. He was a highly recruited football star in high school. Even former President Ford called him and asked him to play for his alma mater, the University of Michigan. He ultimately selected and attended Stanford University, where he received a bachelor's in political science in 1991 and a master's degree in sociology a year later. He studied abroad at the University of Oxford on a Rhodes Scholarship before attending Yale Law School and obtaining his Doctor of Jurisprudence. After graduation, he served as a staff attorney for the Urban Justice Center in New York City and a program coordinator for the Newark Youth Project. He won an upset victory for a seat on the Municipal Council of Newark in 1998, where he staged a 10-day hunger strike and briefly lived in an attempt to draw attention to the urban development issues in the city. He ran for mayor in 2002, but lost to incumbent James Sharp. He ran again in 2006 and won against Deputy Mayor Ronald Rice. He was re-elected in 2010. He ran against Steve Logan in the 2013 U.S. Senate special elections and subsequently won the re-election in 2014 against Jeff Bell. Booker was a candidate for the Democratic nomination in 2020 for the U.S. presidential election, but ultimately dropped out. During his life, Booker demonstrated his leadership traits of intelligence and determination at a young age, when his football career was going to be his ticket and not his destination. He received many accolades and academic scholarships for his intelligence. His determination helped him focus on the greater calling of civil service. He was a social and a charismatic leader. In 2010, while he was the mayor of Newark, a constituent used Twitter to ask him a question and send someone to his father's house to shovel his driveway because her elderly father was going to attempt to do it himself. Booker responded by tweeting, "I'll do it myself, and where does he live?" Within 20 minutes, Booker and some volunteers showed up and shoveled the man's driveway. In January 2017, Booker, a man of integrity, testified against Attorney General Jeff Sessions, the first instance of a sitting senator testifying against another during a cabinet position confirmation hearing. He is witnessed to have a democratic leadership style and a theory-wide philosophy, as he believes in people want to work. He created legislation in Newark to allow former prisoners employment and not be discriminated against based on previous imprisonments. His career is filled with love for influencing communities to become better. He built a relationship with Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg. Ultimately, Zuckerberg donated $1 million of his own funds to help fund Newark's public school system. His ability to communicate with local and federal leaders allowed him to express his disagreements or differences in order to collaborate together for a solution. According to Booker's campaign website, he is a strong advocate for the state of Israel and supports a two-state solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. He insists on using an objective criteria and stated certain conditions must remain non-negotiable, such as Israeli right to exist as a secure Jewish state, free from terrorism. Throughout his Senate tenure, he has written, sponsored, and passed legislation advancing women's rights, affirmative action, same-sex marriage, single-payer health care. He has pushed economic reforms to address the wealth inequalities in the United States. Senator Booker's accomplishments include 1986 USA All-American High School Football Team selection, 1991 All-Pacific 10 Academic Team and Senior Class Presidents, in 2006 and 2008 as the Mayor of Newark, where he reduced gun violence, and in March 2010 marked Newark's first murder-free month in over 44 years. He doubled the amount of affordable housing under development and quadrupled the amount of pre-development and reduced the city's budget deficit from $180 million to $73 million. After Hurricane Sandy destroyed much of the shorelines areas of New Jersey and New York in late October 2012, he invited New Yorkers without power to eat and sleep in his house. In 2014, as a U.S. Senate selection, he co-sponsored and voted for the Employment and Non-Discrimination Act that will prohibit discrimination in hiring and employment on the basis of sexual orientation or gender identity by an employer with less than 15 employees. He co-sponsored the Respect for Marriage Act that repealed the Defense of Marriage Act and required the U.S. federal government to recognize the validity of same-sex marriage. In closing, Cory Booker is a leader who did not lose his authenticity. He's once said, "You're born original, don't die a copy. You owe a debt, and service is the only currency which will you pay for it. Leave your comfort zone, engage with ideas, experience, and people who are outside of your usual circles. Forge new bounds, be courageous in your empathy for others."